This is a message to Donald J. Trump, our president. And congratulations, Mr. President, for your win. A lot of us, man, were rooting for you to win. We needed you to win. We needed common sense to come back. I don't know how long I've been saying we're living in an upside down, backwards world. We needed common sense to come back, and we needed a commander-in-chief that was going to go in there and handle business, and that's you.
He's right, you know.
Now, your first term, I was cool and was rooting for you the whole way. I have really never voted for anything. I really just never got involved in the whole politics stuff. I always looked at Democrat and Republicans as two wings of the same bird. That's how I always saw it, and that's how I always said it. So I really never got involved. So in your first term, I was always liked you before presidency. It had nothing to do with president. I liked you way before all of that. I always thought you was just a cool white guy. Very cool. And I still think you're very cool. And I like you. And I don't care who knows. I've been fighting over you and fighting for you for a long time with family members and friends. No one listened. Everything that's going on now, everything that you're saying and doing, I'd already told them how you were, and I knew about your history with the black people. So now I knew you wasn't racist. You've been helped so many black people and been around so many black people, Muhammad Ali, a bunch of people. So you know what? Who gives a shit what the other people think? Some people are just ignorant. But, Mr. President, listen to what I'm going to say. It's very important. You have said a few times that, they cheated you on the second election. We all know that they did. We were all very upset about that. But I want to say something to you about that that's very important. I'm a big believer of God. He's given me everything that I have. I don't have as much as you, and I'm not up there yet, but I'm on my way. But, Mr. President, listen to it. If you would have went into the White House the second term, everybody would have doubted you. They would have still been saying that you weren't that good and you were doing a horrible job, and they would have been after you, and everybody would have still been saying that Biden and, would have been a better president and this and this and that. So, God put you where you needed to be when you needed to be there. Not when you wanted to be there, when you needed to be there.
He's right, you know.
Everything worked out the best way it could have worked out. He always comes on time. Never when we want him to, but always on time. He put you where you needed to be when you needed to be there the most. And think about it carefully when I say that. See, if you would have went in there that second term, everybody would have been doubting you and saying that Biden would have been a better person and you made all these mistakes, and Biden would have came in after you and we would have been doomed. He would have tore this country apart the same way he did, him and Kamala. And then there would have been another group with them after that, or them again, and they would have tore the whole thing apart, and you couldn't go back in office to fix anything. So it's great that he went in before you. It's good that they stole that election. All those things that you went through for these 4 years that they've been running it, where they tried to put you in jail and they tried to kill you, and all these things, you learned by you being in presidency the first term. You learned how everything is, and you saw the mistakes you made. By them coming after you, since you didn't make it in term, you got to see where everybody was, where all the corruption was, how deep the deep state went, how powerful they really are, how much things they really control. And I've always said, could nobody fight the fight that you're fighting but you, because you're a billionaire, a multi-billionaire. Very successful businessman. And you are not afraid to fight. You will fight back. So no one else could do what you're doing. RFK, everybody like, oh, RFK, he's cool, but he's not you. And he don't got that money like you do, and he ain't gonna be willing to fight the way you are against them and try to dismantle them and take them down, which is what the world needs. They were messing everything up. We all know that. Anybody with common sense could see that.
He's right, you know.
So, Mr. President, all those things you went through just prepared you for where you at right now and what you have to do. And everybody revealed themselves to you because they came after you. If you would have went in there that second term, you wouldn't have known all the stuff that you know now then. And you would have left things open, and they would have came behind you and destroyed everything you built. I mean, look at how quick he destroyed it. Look at all the trillions of dollars they spent just in their term. So it's when you needed to be in there was when you were supposed to be in there. That's when God was putting you in there, when you were supposed to be, when you needed to be. Where you're at right now, could nobody do what you're doing but you, and nobody has the courage or heart to do what you do. I don't care what black people or white people or women disagree. Ain't nobody gonna be willing to go in there and get almost killed and be attempted to be killed multiple times and go in there and do the job, or fight them the way that you are, or use your money to stand up for what's right. Nobody gave away their money for the presidency. I think what you guys make like $400,000. No one gave away their. Obama didn't give away his money. Biden didn't give away his money. Bush didn't give away his money. So you're the only person that could do what you're doing. And you're the only person that has the heart to do what you're doing. And the courage. Very brave. I admire that. And what I've always liked about you is you speak your mind. Everybody read what speeches made. You just say what you want to say, and you say the truth. And a lot of people be doubting you, but you're a billionaire. And I've always said billionaires didn't get to be billionaires being stupid. They're smart people, very intelligent. You got to really look into what you're saying, but you telling them the truth. And people with common sense just couldn't see it. I always saw it. I always knew what you was talking about. And if I didn't, I looked into it and found out what you was talking about. But I always knew whenever you said something, it meant something. And a lot of black men are in favor of you, and a lot of black women are in favor of you too, despite what the stupid, ignorant ones are trying to do. But you are where you're supposed to be when you're supposed to be there. And only you could be there. So be happy. Don't worry about the fact that they stole it from you. They needed to. You're glad that they stole it from you. Because if they hadn't done that, you wouldn't know none of the stuff that you know right now.
He's right, you know.
You wouldn't be able to save the country and fix everything if you didn't go in there after them. They needed to steal that from you. So you could see all the corruption from everywhere it came from all the different branches of government that is in. They came at you and threw everything they had at you, and that revealed all the pieces on the chessboard. Now you know what to do. The only thing I disagree with you shouldn't have said anything until you got in there. That was your mistake. I said it as soon as I saw you doing it. I say you don't reveal to your enemy what your plans are, because then they're going to start doing other things and trying to get around your plan. We all know Biden couldn't put together a Lego set if it was in front of him. So he definitely was not running the government. The government was running the government. The deep state was running the government. United Nations and all these people together were running the government. But you have an opportunity to fix it, and I know you're going to do a great job, and I know you're going to do the best you can. I know you love the black people. I know you love all the people. Because you wouldn't have done the things you did if you didn't.
He's right, you know.
So, keep up the good work. And don't worry about nothing. Just do what you was put here to do. Because you were the one that was put there to do that. By God and by the people. So, enjoy and don't take no shit from nobody. I know you're not. So, congratulations again, Mr. Donald J. Trump, and congratulations, Mr. President. There are a few things I want to add to that. A lot of women do not understand the meaning of war and why we needed a commander-in-chief in there. To all the women who and people who are against Donald J. Trump, let me just say this. If we lose any war, which I believe so desperately that our government and Biden wanted us to do, that I believe they was handing it over to China, my personal belief. And China, Biden said when he first went in office, I believe when somebody first talk to you and first meet you, I believe they're telling you why they're talking to you and meet you, their reason. They tell you. They don't mean to tell you, but they tell you. And they tell you what their plans are. And when Biden first went in office, I watched the video where he was in there and he said that his good friend Xi Jinping of China should be the lead of the world. And they should be the lead. China should be the lead. Those were his words. And he said that we shouldn't be able to vote. We should have one vote for a president like China does, and then that person stays in president and in power until they die.
Say what?
And as soon as I heard those words, I already knew what time it was.
Oh my God.
But a lot of people just didn't get it. You can listen to certain words a person uses and understand exactly where their mind is at and where they're going. If we were to lose any major war,
Oh no.
we are no longer the superpower people. Ladies, do you understand what that means? No more driving in Benzes, no more having your own businesses, no more going to the club, no more putting all the weave in your head, and having the job you want and being able to pick who you want and date who you want. It becomes a third world country. No more freedoms. And if anybody learned anything from looking at this with common sense, you should know that even if you made $1 billion, you are not too high that they couldn't reach you. They killed how many billionaires on Biden's watch? The 3 Bitcoin guys and the Cash App guy, and then the guy in the submarine. And then there was somebody else too. But the guy on the yacht that had some kind of patents to something. He had court cases. He beat his case. He went out on his yacht with his lawyers and his people, and a rogue wave just came out of nowhere, hit the yacht, and he disappeared. His lawyers disappeared, and the only thing they found was 15 out of the 30 people, from my understanding of it. And that was the help. So they can disappear anybody. So I don't know why black people, male or female, think that you're untouchable when you get some money. Being quiet is going to save you. It's not going to save you. The people to me that was in power are real psychopaths. Crazy. They just going to kill you. They don't care about buying you out. They're just going to kill you. And they don't care, what they got to do to take what they want. They're willing to kill for it. So that means when you're dealing with people like that, all your belief system has to kind of go out the window. Your belief in your constitution, your rights. When people are going to die, they don't know they're going to die. And your rights and none of that stuff means anything when you're going to die.
He's right,
When someone's coming for you to take you out and you don't know it, your rights and all that stuff that you got in your head is your belief and your belief system, but not the other person's belief. And if I watched enough mob movies and Godfather movies to know, it don't matter what you think. when you're dealing with somebody else. It matters what they think. And that's very, very important. So, if we were to lose a war, our freedoms and everything that we know and love and ever fought for and died for and believed in is gone.
He's right, you know.
When you lose to the other side, here's what happens in case you guys were too busy watching the football games. Jets, planes, parachutes, tanks come into your city while you in school, while you at work, while you at home, while you in your condo.
Oh no!
And they invade. And they take over. Look at what's happening in Ukraine. Look at their city, their place. All these wars have been fought overseas, so we really never experienced any of this because we're one of the greatest countries in the world. We're the superpower, right? But when you're a superpower, everybody else wants your head. You're a target. And when you lose a war, your belief system, and everything you went to school for is gone. There will be no more basketball, no more football, no more any of those stuff if China were to win a war against us. We would become a third world country. They would come in and they would call the shots. Now, there is something I want to throw in here that I bet a lot of people never caught or never seen. I've been looking at it for a couple of years and nobody caught on to it. I've seen no videos on it, so nobody noticed it. Does anybody remember the movie called The Red Dawn that they made in 2012? They made another version of it that's older, but there was a remake of it in 2012. Well, in that movie in 2012, The Red Dawn, in the beginning of that movie, Obama was president for real. And he is in that movie in the beginning talking, and Biden was vice president for real. And in that movie, they sell us out to China. They give us over to China. China invades on us in the middle of the day. They hit our power in the middle of the night. No one can communicate. They hit us in the middle of the day. They come in. They already had tanks and everything here. Think about it, okay? Because there's a lot of tanks being brought in, and there's a lot of equipment being brought in, and there's a lot of old stuff that was already here outside of California, somewhere out there on one of them big ships. I remember that from years ago. And there's a lot of things already was in place for them to come in and do it. And when China came in, China said, I'll never forget it. When you go back and when you go look up the movie, you'll see it. They say, you guys have been watching TV and programmed wrong and believing in stuff that just isn't real, and it's time for us to re-educate you, reprogram you. And they start putting everybody in concentration camps and detention centers. And anybody that did not cooperate were killed on the spot, to make an example. They didn't care about your belief, and they didn't care about your belief system. Death takes all colors. It doesn't care if you're white, if you're black, if you're old, if you're young, if you're Chinese, if you're black. It just doesn't care about any of it. Death takes everybody. So when the opposing forces coming in, they run the show. They're going to bring in their belief systems, their religions, everything. And if you go against it, you will be killed.
He's right, you know.
So understand something. This election, to me, I went and registered and actually voted. And I never voted before. I wasn't into it, but I did it this time this year for Trump. Yes, I did. I voted for him because it's common sense. A lot of you ladies don't seem to have common sense anymore. And a lot of the men that follow you don't have common sense at all. And to me, this is just like Adam and Eve in the garden. Eve was easily manipulated, came and then manipulated Adam to bite the fruit. Adam had a choice. He could have followed God, or he could have, but he wasn't in he didn't have the knowledge she did. So He followed Eve out of the garden. Why do I say that? This is the same thing to me all over again, and we get to make that decision again as men. We can follow Eve, which is the women. They represent Eve because of the way that they're doing things and being very defiant of God and the world he created and the way he created it and the order of things, female and male. And the women are not wanting to be submissive, which it says you're supposed to be submissive to the men. The men were God's first creation. The women were put here to be our companions, not the other way around. That's the truth.
He's right, you know.
And the way that the women have went, making babies for money, marrying a guy just because he has money, only planning to take his stuff in the end, not really loving the guy, growing to love him. And not all women, but a lot of them. You know, they did a study on the 100 richest women in the world. And 99 of them got their money through divorce. What does that tell you? I've always said that, you know, men really are the go-getters in the planet. And men really go and really spend the money. They opened the club and they made a women's only club and nobody bought nothing. Big disaster. It was going to be. You ladies have a role to play in life. It's an important role, but it's not to be a man. It's not to compete with men. It's nothing for you competing with men. Men are not raised to compete with you. We're not intimidated by you. We just don't care like that about your career because you don't offer us anything. But that's another video. The point I'm making here is if we were to lose a war, which we were on the brink of right now, because if you look at everything that Biden and Kamala did, they're letting you know that they were bringing in here a new world order in the third world, making us a third world country. You opened the borders. You let all these people in here. You let all the bad people out of the prisons. You let the terrorists in here. You just open the borders and flood us. And then you start taking things away from the American people and giving it to the migrants. I love all the cultures too, but the country wasn't built to help everybody and hold everybody. Now you got all these emotional women talking about, oh, you know, the kids and the children and the women and the families. Look, fuck all that shit. They got to go back home. We can't even take care of our own people. We got all these homeless people over here, and we talking about letting in a bunch of people that they can get their citizenships and come in on their own later. So they just got to go back home. There's even people here from those countries that wanted them gone as well. Spanish people here wanted them gone as well. When you look at what he did, you know, the things he put in place, forced vaccinations. He said he wasn't going to vaccinate people. Then he forced vaccinated them anyway and made people lose their jobs who had been on the job for a long time and was going to retire. They messed up everything. I want to say I really want to go off and say some shit, but I'm not. Just understand this. To me, he was trying to hand everything over to China. And he wasn't doing anything about all the stuff the Chinese were doing. The reason I say that is because China has bought so much farmland in the U.S. near military bases. So how are they a threat for our information for TikTok if they're buying all these land near military bases and nobody's saying nothing about it? Because he knows it. He let all those Chinese soldiers in here as migrants too, because when I saw those immigrants coming in, anybody with common sense and got intelligence enough to look at the people carefully could see that those were military men, young military men. And let me tell you ladies something, especially the black ones. The men from other countries don't care about your belief and your belief systems, and they ain't gonna take that shit when you come to talk that shit to them because you've been bred to believe that you can say what you want and do what you want. Actions and words have consequences when you deal with real men who don't give a shit.
He's right, you know.
You they putting all the hormones in the food to the men here and making them girls. And y'all applauding that shit. Well, and they're locking up the other ones and killing the real ones and locking the other ones up. So there are very few real men here. When the war really starts and the bullets start to flying, y'all ain't gonna have no protection. Y'all can't protect yourselves against real men. You guys don't really fight the wars like the men do. The men are the ones that have to go out there and fight for your freedom and protect you. And you're completely destroying your basically your military force. You're fighting an army. You're killing it. When you don't have one, what you gonna do when they say, hey, you know what? We gonna put you in the camps too. Because what you think is just the men? No. They were coming after everybody. They gonna get everybody in the long run. You know what Hitler did? You know what made him so successful? This is what Hitler did in case people didn't understand it. And America funded him. And they studied everything he did too. Do your homework. Hitler would come into a country and invade it. And when he would win, he would take the prisoner soldiers and he would send 1,200 of his soldiers with the prisoner soldiers. And he would tell them, y'all gonna come with us to invade the next country. And once we get control of that next country, the ones who remain, I will send you back home to your country and you're free. And so the men, he gave them guns and they would go in with his 1,200 troops and they would invade the next country. And he went country to country doing this. Listen to it. And when they won and they got another group of men and they imprisoned those men, he then told them, okay, get on these trucks. These trucks going to take y'all to the boats and planes. They're going to take y'all home. Give us your guns. And they gave their guns and they got on them trucks and got in the back of them trucks with Hitler's men in charge. He only sent 1,200 of his men. And a lot of these men were like, you know, like the top, like the generals and shit. You know, they had soldiers too, but generals. They didn't really associate a lot with those guys. They didn't smile and laugh with them, nothing. You knew shit wasn't right. Anyway, they would get on them trucks thinking they was going home. He would roll them over to them camps that they already had set up. Like you gonna bring a bunch of cows in and put them in a big pen and they just mowed them down. They had them all standing in there waiting for some ride to come after they got off the trucks and went and all lined up and got in there. Then these big soldiers on these big trucks all around them from every angle would just drop everything and just spray them down. Mow them down like nothing. Killed them. No one knew. Then the generals would walk around with their gun and just shoot everybody that didn't die from those bullets. If they were still living, he would headshot each person. And then they would go and spill the same speech to the next group. And then they would conquer the next land and the next land. And he was losing very few troops because he was using the people that they captured to help him take over and fight the next war. And he was preserving his army. Only sending 1,200 of his troops and sending all the rest of it was the other people that they'd captured in war. So when you understand your belief system and none of that stuff matters, and what you think in your head just don't matter when you're dealing with somebody else. It matters what they think, not what you think. You know you, but you don't know them. And that's my point. So everybody don't understand we were on the brink of losing our whole country, everything we know, because a group of weak people wanted to keep people in power that was destroying everything, which makes no sense at all. I do not understand it. I'm not a political person. It just doesn't make any, it's like no common sense is here. And once we lose our country, all these weak men and all these people that's following the women and all the women that's talking that shit with their shows, your shows are over. The money in your bank accounts is gone. They're going to seize all that shit. They're going to take everything you got. They're going to strip you down to nothing, put you in some bullshit clothes, take everything of value. And they are going to make you slaves and kill anybody who resists. Then you gonna wish you had those men that you talk so bad about. Then you gonna wish that the person that you was in charge wasn't in charge. And then you gonna say, man, we should have went the other way. It's too late for all that at that point.
He's right, you know.
So the people that voted for Trump, we were fighting for the country and everybody's free will and everybody's freedom to make their own decisions. Klaus Schwab's and all those people over there that Trump had to talk to, those people wanted us to eat bugs and worms.
Say what?
Bill Gates don't want us eating meat no more. He is destroying all the food and nobody's doing nothing. The guy is crazy.
He's right, you know.
And you guys want to vote for the people that represent those people. That's the shit that gets me.
Oh no.
Obama, Bill Gates, Oprah, all these people represent that side. And they just feel like it's too many people in the world. I mean, listen, bro, listen. Kamala came on TV. I know you seen the video because I seen it. And she said at a podium, when we get through depopulating the population, our kids will have more clean and fresh air for them to breathe. And y'all wanted to vote for her?
Say what? Oh my God.
And this lady is a vice president, which means she has been okay with everything that has came in there. She's an idiot. Because let me tell you what I'm seeing about this government, this deep state. They use you to do the job, like Hitler used those men. And then when they got everybody riled up and they done took everybody out they want, then they gonna put your ass on the firing squad too. And who's gonna stop them? You ain't got no more power. Anybody rich that think that you gonna still live in this world and keep your money and keep your way of life to those billionaires and trillionaires and you just a millionaire, you got another thing coming.
He's right, you know.
Them people gonna wipe out anybody that wasn't on their page, and they mean business. Didn't you see what they did to all the people who went against them? Come on, people, wake up. Our whole country, everything we believe in love was on the line. Our freedoms were on the line. Our livelihood was on the line. Our life was on the line. And Trump was the way out. He was the right way to go. He's who God wanted to be where he was, or he wouldn't be there. So, people, accept the loss on the Democratic side and quit being sore losers. I ain't never seen a bigger group of babies and sore losers in my life. Come on, bro. Get out of here with that, man. If you like my video, give me the thumbs up. Okay? I put up a new video almost every day or every other day. So yeah, give me a thumbs up. Share and subscribe. Likes are free. So, no excuses. There you go. Have a good day.
Meow.